Hey, y'all. We are back again. Oh, I'm so excited. So, y'all. This is Intentional Living with SonjaW, and I'm back to assist you with starting off your week with a little less chaos, okay? So I can't wait to get into this with y'all as usual. We are here. We're going to break down 5 things today, okay? We're going to talk about one good thing. We're going to talk about what's on the docket. We're going to have our intentional living topic of the week, and then we're going to close out in prayer. And I'm going to do this in 20 minutes, okay? 20 minutes. That's what I'm going to do. 20 minutes. Hold me to it. So anyway, guys, I am so excited for today because as usual, we are here. Oh my gosh. So welcome people. Come on in. Come on in. Hey, if you're catching the replay, I am live on YouTube every morning at every Monday morning at 7 a.m. So if you want to catch it live, you want to talk with me online, bring it in here on Mondays at 7 a.m. on YouTube and on Facebook, actually. So good morning to everybody who is coming in. I'm going to hop right into it as you're getting settled and all that kind of stuff. I would love for you to tell me your one good thing. Tell me one good thing that has happened to you in the last week. Because when you do that, oh my gosh, it transforms your life. It transforms how you look at life and how you look at the things that are important to you. Okay. So let's get into it. My one good thing. Okay, so listen, I struggle with just having one good thing, okay? So we're going to get 2 good things today. So my first good thing is that I got to babysit my niece and nephew. And if you know anything about me, if you've been following me for a while, those are my homies. Those are my 5 and 3-year-old homies, okay? So I had a good time hanging out with them. They actually chased me and actually beat me up with beanbags and pillows. So I don't know if this is abuse or if it's love, but I had a good time. I got my workout in. I didn't get a chance to work out that day that I babysat them. So, I got a little workout with them. It was great. It was great. Yeah. And then the next thing that I got to do was so in my church we have a small group season where we have different groups doing all types of different things all throughout the DMV. And I'm actually hosting a group with a friend called The Garden Within. We're actually reading the book, The Garden Within, from Dr. Anita Phillips. And first of all, that book is amazing. If you are trying to figure out your emotions, why, how to deal with that war within you, and you're Christian, even if you're not Christian, this book is phenomenal. Okay, it helps you understand that it's not a war between your mind and your emotions, that they work together, and also God gave them to us, so they are useful. They are indicators. I love that. I actually learned that in therapy. Yes. But I learned that emotions are indicators of what's happening, right? Like, and when you feel that, it's not something to fight with, but it's to figure out. But anyway, all that to say, we had our first session last week and it was phenomenal. I am so excited for this season of small groups. Hey, Ashley. All right. Your good thing is that you got a new role at a station company. That's really cool. Congrats to you. Oh my gosh. So, man, I just love it. I love it when people talk back. Hey, if you're catching the replay, definitely put a comment below. Let me know your one good thing. Okay. Let me know what's that one good thing that you're starting off your week with today. All right. Now let's get into what's on the docket. Let me know in the comments what's in the docket for you. If you're on the replay, definitely drop that in the comments as well. What's on the docket is the time to think about, well, what am I doing this week? What's happening this week? And this is kind of the prep and the beginning to your own weekly review. Because if you've been following me, you realize that this podcast was birthed out of my desire to, one, then also help you guys do a weekly review, because it's so important to plan your week and know what you're getting into. So one of the things to prep is to figure out, well, one, figure out what your one good thing is so that you have the right mindset. But then two, figuring out, well, what exactly is on the docket for you this week. Okay. So for me, I got several things on the docket, but the main thing for me is to get this trailer and this podcast up on Spotify. Y'all, I'm not perfect. I'm not. And you know what? That's actually one of the things that I talk about all the time with intentional living. Intentional living is not perfection. It is not, I get everything right all the time. It is not, I never mess up. It is actually way, 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 way far from that. And one thing for me that I still struggle with is trying to make things perfect, right? So that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me this time, right? I was trying to make this thing perfect before I posted it. And I realized that my need to nitpick and all that kind of stuff is not based on trying to have the best product, actually, but it was based on me walking in fear. I know, right? So all that to say is to encourage you to just go and do what you're supposed to do. But then also accountability for me. I was praying about this. If you don't actually want God to answer, don't pray about it. That is horrible advice. But I was praying about this. As you should. And I cracked my own self up. Okay, I was praying about this. And I felt the Lord say, tell the people that you're going to have this thing up on Wednesday, and then clip what's in the docket section of this podcast and put it up on your social medias. And I was like, God, I don't want to. And I realized I didn't want to because I didn't want accountability. So I'm going to do what he says. If you don't see this on Spotify, or you see me talking about it's up on Spotify by Wednesday of this week, come for me. Put comments in the bottom of this YouTube podcast or this Facebook podcast, okay? You should be on my email list. But if you're on my email list, link below, reply to the email you're going to get today and say, girl, where's the trailer? Where is the trailer, Sonja? So do that for me, okay? This is the accountability for me, okay? All right. So thank you in advance. And actually, I'm not even going to say thank you because I'm not going to need it because it's going to be up, okay? Anyway, so that's the main thing that's on the docket for me. Definitely drop below what's on the docket for yourself this week. Let me know, what are you going to be working on this week? I got a couple other things that I'm going to be kind of doing. I'm going to be revamping a little bit of my email opt-ins and just doing a couple little things today because today is President's Day and I have the day off. Listen, I'm excited. I'm going to be relaxed and I'm going to be doing some fun stuff. But yeah, let me know below what is on the docket for you this week. Make sure that you take some time to kind of think through, well, what's on the to-do list for this week? And one tip actually that kind of helps you kind of focus in on what is important to get done is that, yes, have a to-do list, but each day, because you should be reviewing your day every day, not just weekly, not just monthly, not, you should be reviewing. But anyway, figure out the top 3 things that you want to get done for the week. But then every day, think about what are the top 3 things that you want to get done in this day, and focus on those first. Because sometimes when you decide what's important, right, but then you see all the easier things like finishing, going through emails, or doing stuff that you like to do, right, you end up not even doing the things that you said were important. And actually, that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm gonna go ahead and switch off. Oh, thank you so much. All right, we got interviews going and all types of stuff happening this week. Okay, guys. Okay. I like it. I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and switch into the intentional living topic of the week. And it actually ties in perfectly with what I was just saying, that, it's important to lay out what's important and then decide what is the most important. Because a lot of the times we do all these easy things. We say yes to all of these easier things, and then we miss out on the things that we actually are supposed to be saying yes to. And that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about why, and the fact that what you say yes to matters. It matters immensely. Okay. And this is actually part of the second step in the stairwell to intentional living. So last week, we actually started through the stairwell to intentional living, or what I like to call still. And we broke down acknowledging your dreams, acknowledging the dream that you had within you, so that you can have kind of like a boundary mark of where you're going to be going and what you want to do, right? Well, that was the first step. And I realized that I didn't actually take you on all four steps of the still process. So I'm going to lay those out, and then we're going to come back to the one we're talking about today. So first is acknowledge your dreams, right? You got to actually acknowledge that, one, you have a dream; two, that your dream is important, that your dream is worth dreaming; and then three, actually what it is, like writing it down, right? Then the second step in the stairwell to intentional living is to live by principle. What you say yes to matters. And when you figure out what matters to you, then you're able to say yes to the right things. Okay. Then the next step is to execute by process. We execute what we believe matters. We execute on our principles. We execute on our dreams through executing by processes. And those processes look like life planning, look like building goals, good goals, looks like building routines, like a weekly review, like a monthly review, a quarterly reset, a life plan, things like that, right? Executing by process. And then the final step is to win by practice. You win by what you practice, right? And I'll go into deep dive in all of those things in the next few weeks and stuff like that. But today we're going to talk about how your yes really truly matters. Okay. What you say yes to matters for your life. Okay. What you say yes to matters in every aspect of yourself. And I was just thinking about this when a couple of weeks ago, when I talked about why I'm even starting this thing, was I talked about how I was saying yes to everything. I did not know what my why was. I didn't know what was important to me. So everything I did was yes, because I wanted to feel important. I wanted to feel needed. I wanted to be perfect, right? And I realized that this is not the way to live. This is not what God has called any of us to. He's called us to give him glory, and through the things that he's placed inside of us, that's how we do it, right? So I had to learn that for myself. I had to learn that saying yes to everything without a plan, without a purpose, is a surefire way to burn out, a surefire way to not living a good life, right? It's a surefire way to anything bad. Okay. And it had me, it reminded me of a passage in scripture where it talked about how Jesus talked about a man who, built a house or tried to build a house without a plan and was mocked, right? As Luke 14:28-30. And it says, for which of you, and I'm reading this, it says, for which of you desiring to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it. Otherwise, when he has laid a foundation, what is that foundation? Is it a foundation that the Lord has given you to build? Or is it a foundation of people pleasing? Or is it a foundation of trying to be perfect or whatever? But when he has laid a foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him, saying, This man began to build and was not able to finish, right? This is what a life without knowing what you value, a life saying yes to everything and anything gets you. It gets you mocked because you started to build something that you couldn't or probably don't even want to finish because that's not what you value. So saying yes to what truly matters is key to living an intentional life. So how do we do this? Okay. So I got 3 things for y'all and I'm going to run through these real quick. Okay. Saying yes to what matters to you is one way on how you can build the foundation that you need to build. Live by principle, saying yes to what matters to you. And notice I say to you, because a lot of times we say, you say yes to what matters. And, we don't really think about, well, people think that global warming matters. It does. But is that what matters to you? People think that, I don't know, getting the bag, working till we're tired. I don't know. I can't even think of the words, right? But is that what matters to you? It's key to understand what matters to you because that is part of what God has placed in you to do, right? If it matters to you, if it's something that is important to you, then it is part of what God has placed in your heart to do. And one thing that I love to help people with that is when you're building a life plan, to think about your life in 6 key relationships. Those six key relationships are the 6 areas of your life where you can figure out truly what matters for you. And that is how you build your life plan or build your life, the goals that you set. And those 6 key relationships are a relationship with God, relationship with yourself, your body, your health, relationship with your mind, your intellect. How are you growing intellectually? How are you growing as a person? Your relationship with your family. How are you growing with your family? What is your goal? What is your desire with your family? Relationship with your friends. You need friends. You need community. I think people think that they can live life alone and be good. No, 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 no. You need community. So you should be paying attention to that relationship with friends. And then finally, your relationship with your finances. Everybody got money, right? Or at least you should. You should have some money. Because, but anyway, your relationship with your money is also key to living out the life that you need, living an intentional life. Oh, look at my shirt. You like this? So I love this sweatshirt. It is a sweatshirt that a friend of mine designed, and it's really talking about the fact that we don't want soft life, we want intentional life, right? A life lived by intention. Now, okay, side note. Do I got time for a side note? I got time for like one quick side note. So funny. Our pastor talked about yesterday what women want. We are in a relationship series. And the first thing that she said was that women want a soft life. And I was like, I don't want no soft life. What's she talking about? I want an intentional life. But then she talked about it a little bit more. And she said that we as women desire a life of security, that we feel secure. And I was like, you know what? That's a soft life I want. So there is a soft life that I want, but I'm living intentionally. So we have intentional life. Okay. Anyway. Oh, if you want it, link in the bio below. Yeah. Oh, yes. And if you're catching the replay, it should be below in the comments or wherever that is in Facebook and YouTube. Anyway. All right. Sorry for the side note. First thing, say yes to what matters. Use the 6 key relationships to cultivate what matters to you, right? Say yes to your dream. What is your dream? What is the thing that you desire? Actually say yes to it. Yes to dreaming it. Yes to executing on it. Yes to believing that it's something that you can do because God placed it on your heart to do. And then finally, yes to where you are. I think a lot of people sugarcoat where they are in real life, but it's important to actually no and say yes to where you are. It may not be where you want to stay, but understanding and kind of settling in the fact that, yes, this is where I am. This is where I am in life. This isn't where I want to stay because I have a dream, but this is where I am in life. No more denial, no more sweeping it under the rug. This is where I am. Because when you get real about where you are, you're able to look to your dream and close the gap. You know what? I am going to talk about the I'm going to talk about living by principle again next week. I am, because I want to talk about closing that gap between your dream and your where you are. Not next week, because we're doing a monthly review next week. But anyway, I just say yes to where you are right now and be okay with it. All right. All right, y'all. So I am done. I am done. We ran through it. Make sure that you're saying yes to the right things today. Okay. Let's go ahead and pray, and then we are out of here. Let's go. We're now at the Dreamboost Prayer. So, Lord, help us to count the cost of what we want to build. Give us clarity so that we can say yes to what truly matters and build the intentional life we are meant to live. All right, y'all. Well, that was awesome. I love hanging out with you guys. Just know, say yes to what matters to you, say yes to your dream, and say yes to where you are. And you are going to be well on your way to living by principle, to being able to start this intentional life. All right. See y'all next week. I am so excited for the next week because it's going to be good. As always, see you.